Welcome to the first episode of Soundbites. I'm Sophie. I'm here at Hunting Ground with Clay Pigeons. To my left over here, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Yagara and Turrbal people, and recognise that sovereignty was never ceded and this always was, always will be Aboriginal land. To kick things off, can I get all of you to introduce yourselves to the camera with your role in the band?
Let's get it.
My name is Eamon. I sing and I play rhythm guitar.
My name's Tyler, and I just play guitar.
My name's James. I play keys and do backing vocals.
My name's Max, and I play bass.
My name's Matt, and I play guitar.
My name's Aaron, and I play drums.
So when I asked you guys to bring me to a spot which holds significance to Clay Pigeons, the band agreed on Hunting Ground, which is where we are right now. Speak to me a little bit about what this spot means to your band and Clay Pigeons as a project.
For me, before the band even started, I came and I met with Cody, and he gave me like 2 or 3 hours of his time, just chatted to me about the music industry and kind of got my thoughts organized, and then that led to me meeting all these guys.
So Clay Pigeons gone from a 2-man setup to a 6-piece now. How have these new members shaped the sound of the band? And I'm really curious to how you have 6 voices and therefore 6 different creative visions. How do you sort of bring that all together to create a project that feels this tight and cohesive still?
Well, I feel that Eamon and Garbsy, before we met them, had a handful of songs written, and they both do a great job of leaving a lot of room for other people to come in and put their own styles onto it. So that was like with R.O., where that was a song where it was just chords and Eamon singing over it, but we've all come in and put a part on it and chopped it up a bit. Now it's really something else.
Yeah, for me it's kind of weird because I've never played keys in a band before, but it's really cool because there, as Tyler said, there is that space that's left, and so I feel like we kind of work collaboratively to try and come up with something that works for the song.
I think that for me it's pretty straightforward. I just show up and add low notes to everything that's already there. It's quite nice though. It's fun to play bass. I don't really play bass too often. Sometimes I'll add notes sort of in between. Yeah, I'll freak everyone the fuck out with my little bass playing hijinks.
Bass playing hijinks. No, I agreed. He does play low notes. Starting off, it was just me and E-Man, and wrote a lot of simple songs, a lot in E, and had a lot of space in the songs, like especially our first song, our Coronation that we put out, where it's like, kind of seems like not much is happening because now when we record, we have so much more input and so many more layers. But I definitely feel Aaron says this a lot, like him and Max are really locked in from working together for a long time. They really lock in. And then it's been really interesting having Tyler because I feel like he listens to a lot of different genres that I haven't been. Like, you do the shoegaze stuff and then all like the... Right? Yes. Cool. Oh, look, it's Cody. What's up, Cody?
That's fucking 3-time ARIA award winner.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting, but I really appreciate, especially Max. He says he just does low notes, but being able to bring songs and do a great job in like organising them and putting structure behind them, and watching everyone work and do that has been crazy. It's been way different to how we used to do it, which is just like arguing about cutting apart for ages.
Yeah, and then just not.
And then not cutting it.
It's funny because I think creatively it's changed quite a lot from when we kind of first got together, when it was just Eamon, Garbsy, Max and I. And there's a lot of kind of workshopping a lot of the stuff that Eamon had brought and had written prior, and then kind of getting it record worthy or gig worthy or whatever. And then it's actually been really cool having Tyler and Jimmy jump on as well, getting their influences for new songs we write collectively and all that kind of stuff.
This was the first band that I joined playing guitar in, and unlucky for them, I'd really had a lot of stuff building up for a while. So they've copped all my Bloody Valentine and Strokes influence, I guess, and they have to sit there and watch me tune for 5 minutes every time. And I always try and just nudging that little shoegaze thing in there, get everyone on it. I think it works really well.
Yeah, you have such an interesting blend of genre. You've kind of got this psychedelic rock going on, but you've got some really folk storytelling undertones. I want to go around the circle again. What are your biggest inspirations for this project?
What surprised me the most coming into this fairly late and just diving head first is how influenced I've been by the people just in our scene and how much new music I've been exposed to that way. You know, I didn't listen to shoegaze before I met Tyler. And then you've got bands like Special Features, Blue Diner, you know, doing that I've just seen in person and loved. And it's informed what we do, I guess. And yeah, you know, just around Australia, bands like Le Shiv have been a massive inspiration. Radium Dolls originally, Bean Mag, even like bands like Swap Meat from Adelaide I saw recently, and very cool. And like that, then one of the new songs we're writing, it, like how I'm singing that is like very much inspired by them, or at least parts of. I'm trying to take inspiration. So it's often, for me at least, on a much more local, grounded level that I'm influenced, because you see it in person, you know.
I just like old Motown bass. Motown pretty much nailed it. And I think Eamon writes like what I imagine Motown songs would sound like if you were on like psychedelics in Motown, which maybe they were, but I don't know. But like heavier psychedelics, like dark stuff. Like if you were at Motown and you had a dark thing going on in your life and you were using psychedelics to like self-medicate that. My only real influence when like playing bass in bands is trying to keep things as like simple as possible and just trying to focus on groove rather than like chops.
I think the cool thing about this project is that I've had to learn to play simply. You know, it's real easy just to show off and be super choppy and whatnot. But I think I've never really played folk music before, so it's kind of like I guess I'm learning more than input at the moment. But I think in saying that, I think there is a certain level of experience that I kind of bring being in other projects, and it's actually been really cool having particularly Max and Jimmy on different instruments, because usually I just have Max on as a front man and Jimmy on guitar. So it's cool having Max on bass and then being able to workshop the kind of the rhythm sections. And as I can't remember who said it before, but Max and I work quite well in that regard. So it's nice and refreshing to kind of do that.
So your second single, Uh-Oh, you released. Congratulations. It's really a complex song. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
It feels like you're settling into the groove of what Clay Pigeons is as a project. How did this track come to be, and how did it evolve from your first single, Coronation?
Well, for Coronation, we did entirely in the house, like in our old house. We had a different drummer, Adam, that we were playing with at the time, and it was just the three of us. And then I guess this one was the first round of songs that we took to most of the boys. Mainly it started when we were with Aaron and Max. And we took to the boys and we're like, we want to go to the studio. We got these songs and we did the drums and stuff. And then same line. We still recorded the rest at home, which is sick.
How's your home studio set up?
It's my bedroom and then another room, and then pretty much. But I think that's great because you save a bunch of money.
Matt isn't taking credit here. Matt mixed both Coronation and Uh-Oh, and he saved Coronation like for real.
Coronation
because
savior.
We, like you said, we recorded at home. We recorded the drums for that, like, with mattresses around Adam at the time.
DIY.
And yeah,
it's awesome.
super DIY. And like, we're both playing bass on that, so that already shows how far we've come. I shouldn't be playing bass on anything. It's weird because it's the first song that we ever played together. Like when we first met, it was like at a party and we just jammed. And then he like moved to Brisbane the next month, which was insane.
That's awesome. Uh-Oh feels like a really wild emotional ride from start to finish. You kind of got like spiraling and ascending going on at the same time. What were you channeling when you wrote it? Like what was the kind of energy that influenced the song?
I wrote it in kind of two parts, which started when I was 19. I had a 2-night stand over 2 years and one night each side of those 2 years. And they were both terrifying. And I think I tried to make it all sound a lot cooler when I was 19 and I was like, I have to write a song about this. 'Cause
So you
I
wrote this
think-
when you were 19?
Yeah, I started, and then a bit more, and I was like 21, I guess, 2 years later.
That's a big project.
You will find that a lot of the songs that we work on are either like repurposed lyrics on like much more interesting tracks that these guys write, or built out restructured songs that I've worked on for years. They're kind of like journal entries, I guess.
The kind of like peaks and valleys in that song, was that in your original plan for the song, or did that like kind of come about?
Some of them were, but also like certain builds, and then like there's a turnaround in the song now. It has like different chords that don't pop up before then. That didn't exist. Like that, that flow.
I remember Max and Aaron saying like, they were just like, there's no chorus in this song. And we restructured.
Yeah, I don't know what song structure is. I still haven't worked that one out. I'm getting there, but definitely when I was writing those songs, it was just verse, a different type of verse. This might be a bridge, and then we get louder. But, a lot of like Tyler coming in and doing those bends on the second verse, that adds like a whole extra color to it all.
You can really hear the shoegaze influence with a lot of your music, and I can tell that all of you come from very different like musical backgrounds, which I think is what makes Clay Pigeons so interesting, is that all of you very clearly listen to different music, but it all comes together really nicely. A question that I have for you guys is that a lot of the most beautiful art often comes from really traumatic and crushing events, and lots of people think that writers will, or artists, musicians such as yourself, will go through something and then automatically translate that into art. But that's not always the case. You've kind of like sometimes got to sit and dwell on what's happened to you before you can actually pick up your guitar and write something. So I guess, what does that sort of grace period look like for you, and how long does it usually take before you find you need to create something?
That depends. That's so circumstantial. A lot of the time, it's very instant. Like I said, it's kind of like journaling. So it's like, I'm like, ooh, I feel something. I got to write about that. And then, but then a lot of the time, it's like a burst of feeling for me. Like I'm not like, because I don't have, when Max writes a song, when I see Max write songs, he has an idea. And he has so many feelings and so many words, always, I feel, that he can come up with a concept. And like, as he's coming up with a concept, words are just coming out, whether they remain those words. Whereas I'm very much the opposite. I don't have any knowledge of theory or anything. So when I'm writing, it's just like, I feel something. And then that can be like one or two verses. And then the rest of the song can happen over years after that. And I like that because especially a lot of the songs I wrote when I was younger, I'm like, I look back and I'm like, you were so misguided. And I'm so glad I wasn't releasing music when I was like 19. But it was interesting because, like I said, it was like, I need to make a weird experience cool. So I wrote it instantly, but then didn't like think about it till we came to do the music video. And then we kind of explored that other side of the whole situation and unaddressed feelings through the visual side of things.
I think it's really cool how you get the two sides of the story through what you're hearing and what you're seeing.
I love that about Clay Pigeons, because your music videos are kind of wild. You also have a music video for Coronation, and they kind of feel more like short films or fever dreams instead of music videos. Are you like storyboarding that, or is that kind of just following the song? Do you see it as an extension of the song?
Coronation was like an idea that I had for a long time, and it was stuff that I did, visual ideas that I played with in other concepts that never really came to fruition, like a film I wanted to write, blah, blah, blah. I've always been like super interested in medieval stuff as well. Used to go to like the Abbey as a kid and dress up for that. And I come from film, like that's what I did before this.
You can tell.
So I like films. I like making little
films.
films. So many films that I was in never came out, and you can get music videos out, especially because you're motivated by it's like your business and your brand. You want to have an extra thing and market it. So it's a good excuse to make more art. Isaac's the director. Phenomenal, just phenomenal from start to finish. But yeah, we were literally just in Spotlight buying fabric. We bought 30 meters of canvas. He sewed it all together. Crazy
That
work.
guy is multi-talented.
Yeah. He's also super tall.
How tall is he?
I don't know. He keeps getting bigger.
Righto. We'll end on a big one. What's next for Clay Pigeons? What do you have coming up?
We are working on an EP. We've recorded 2 of those songs, which will be released as singles. Which, if you've come to our shows, you'll know. One Day, Tumbleweed, Cowboys. And we've cooked up some demos for the rest of the songs. So hopefully we'll be back here putting those songs out into the world very soon. So
In this really beautiful space. That's really awesome. I'm really excited. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me for the first episode of Soundbites. Stream OO if you haven't already. Do you guys have any final words that you'd like to send us off with?
First of all, I'd like everyone to just enjoy themselves. You know, there's a lot going on right now, and it's good to just take a second and chill. So you should go and listen to OO on low volume because it'll be more chill. Like, have it way in the back of whatever the fuck ambience is happening. Don't. It's scary. It'll scare you, man. You don't want to watch the scary music video. If you do, watch it with a friend so they can help you.
but on separate laptops so we get our views.
Don't watch it on a laptop. Watch it the way Eamon intended. Watch it on your phone. While on the toilet. While doing some other shit. And watch about half of it and then lose interest. That would be epic. No, on a serious note, I think that everybody should get out and support live music as much as possible. And that does include us, right? So if you're out and about, come catch us at a gig. Go support other people at gigs. Support anyone in any creative industry because it's fucking hard, you know? And so just do all that and support Soundbites, dude.
Awesome. We'll end it there. Well done, guys.